Hi guys, welcome back to Everybody Has a Podcast. This one is a very tricky situation because, as we say always, we try to make sense of the nonsense, and this one is not any type of nonsense. It's not even nonsense at the moment, but it's a reality that far too many women go through, and unfortunately, this is something that we may be aware of, and we may know somebody next to us or close to us who has been through this, and it doesn't make it any less um, easier to accept or any less easier to digest because obviously this is somebody's life and this is somebody's who has been whose child has been abused and sexually abused per se and by her husband. So I don't know if you guys do live we do live under the same word, so if you are aware or if you know, there's this lady who has been sort of trending on, I think, TikTok as well. But here, obviously, is a place where this video has now 2 million views yesterday. And you have people like Abba and Preach who did react to it. And they literally just put the same title as the video. And we all know kind of a pull these people have because they have what, 2 million subscriber. However, so let me just recap a little bit of the story about what this lady is saying. And if you haven't watched the video, I'll leave a link to it. So it's a very long video, not that long by YouTube standard, actually, but it is like 13 minutes 59, where she recounted how her husband, she recounted or she gave details of how her husband, in her shock and disbelief, has been sexually abusing their two young daughters. It's very, very heart wrenching because those daughters are like 4, and the other one, I don't know how old she is, but she's very, very young. And she came to find out when she was changing her daughter. Imagine that surprise, disbelief, shock, and I think just an unbelievable situation because, as she said in the video, she's a product herself of such situation. Her mother was not consensual when she fell pregnant of her, so you can just imagine that trauma of probably not even knowing her father. And she does have a YouTube channel that does pretty well. She has about 61,000 subscribers. She gave birth to the child to that husband, and so a lot of people are obviously supporting her, and she does have my full support in this situation. And if you kind of try to objectify something like this, I think there is really, really no excuse to be an abuser. You can't even. I can't even start thinking about giving that guy any reason as to why you don't touch a lady. You don't raise your hand on a lady, on a child. On top of that, your own stepdaughter. I think with some people's minds are just really broken and twisted, and I don't know how people just satisfy themselves in things that really, really just feels inhuman and completely out of place. I mean, this guy is sick. Yeah, I think that the only place he can actually really be is a mental institution. He should be locked up there. So, and unfortunately, on the other side, people are saying that this lady didn't protect her children enough because she literally threw herself at the man. So you have to understand the background of her YouTube channel and what she kind of promotes there, becoming a trophy wife. And unfortunately, we see too many women or ladies doing this because they really want that princess treatment. It's fine, you can have that princess treatment, but dependability is just something that, personally, is something that really, really will leave you subject to immense mood, immense power, and it makes this situation very, very easy to happen. Before she got married to the man, she was a single mom of 2. I believe that what she said in the previous video because I went through her channel, and she felt like getting married to this guy was the jackpot, not knowing this would ensue and this would happen to her daughter. At some point, she did set. You can say that she did set up all of this herself, and she pretty much asked for it because she was with the man for less than a year before they got married, and the man is about 20 plus years older than her. I think it's 50 or so. I don't know if there is an image of him, and I think you can look him up on the internet. Let's just do a quick search, and you won't find much about the husband on the internet. I think even in terms of image, you really won't find much. I'm trying to go here on even online. You won't really find much, but I think I found the name of the guy. Twitter investigation and stuff like that. So it's very disturbing and a very sad story because you can imagine the shock and the disbelief of the poor lady. And my biggest issue right now, my biggest concerns are for the children whose matter has been made public. Literally, I think these children will live with that scar, and especially because it's social media, they will be living with that for the rest of their lives. And it's very hard to really grow in that environment. She did set up a GoFundMe. You can support her so I'll leave a link to a video. You can watch the video and just make sense of that video yourself. Uh, and she's brave, to be honest. She's commendable to do something like that. As much as she left the name of the children out of the video, but I think these children will be living with that stigma. Somebody alluded to the point of saying, why didn't he just wait until 18, when the kids are 18 years old, if they want the story to be publicized or not? Which I think is also understandable. But to raise awareness, I think this is a commendable move. However, now everybody's talking about it, so the kids are not probably going to be safe out of the public eye for the rest of their lives, because it will always come up. And this is something that happens way too frequently, and we definitely know about somebody around us who was being assaulted in some way, sexually and physically. So it's even worse when it happens to children of that age. And so I hope the law will take its course. This happened in the USA. It's not in any African country. And I don't even know how many times it happened in our neighborhood or in our countries where it is not reported because people are scared, people are afraid. There are mechanisms, I think, here in South Africa where you can report sexual assault crime and you can get justice. And I think the law recently have been a bit more stringent when it comes to things like this. I'm really shocked. I was really shocked when I was listening to the story yesterday, that predatory instinct that some men can have, and especially towards little kids. I mean, kids that call you dad. On top of that, it is very heart-wrenching. It is very unbelievable, and it is very sickening. I mean, you really have to be sick. You really have to be out of your mind to be doing something like this. This is something that unbelievably crazy. I mean, this is something that is just out of this world. But unfortunately, it's something that is becoming way too common nowadays, and people are allowing that. I think so. This lady alluded to the point that she saw some red flags when she got married to the guy, and I wish personally that she would have acted upon them a little earlier, and she could have prevented something like this happening. As to say, she was a product of sexual assault herself, and unfortunately, she didn't personally do a good job at protecting her own children. It's unfortunate that something like this happened to a daughter, and yeah, it is just crazy. And on top of that, she literally just had a kid with the guy. So you can imagine trying to explain that to your son or to your child years after why he can't see his father. It's because his father was a predator. He was literally lowering you on your own sisters. You really can believe this. You can just try to see how this family is already broken by some stupid man decision. He could just zip his pants and really had to be twisted. And yeah, these are red flags as well. This guy probably was not married until he was 50, got married to a beautiful young lady, and it's really, really tricky. You can go to the ladies page. Unfortunately, what she promotes is not something that I would personally believe that is morally, it's lawful, but it is morally questionable in terms of becoming a trophy wife. And just I would understand that if you really know the person. That's all, why they say always get to know the person for who they really, really are. Get married with somebody for who they really, really are, and that is very important, because it's true that it could have possibly prevented something of this magnitude happening. Really sorry about her, the children. She has my full support, and I just want to know what you guys think about this, because it is something where I think you can't really be judgmental. I can't judge her for that, as much as I can give my 2 cents here and there, my opinion. It's more like an opinion. If you think I'm wrong, you can come bring it into the discussion in the comment below, and let's have a polite, courteous discussion where we bounce idea and where we think this could have been avoided, or how it could have been avoided. Unfortunately, when things happen afterwards, you can't say it, but yeah. What do you think? See you guys in the next one. Peace out, and please subscribe.